Welcome to Open Caller, the only show that went to the happiest place on earth and lived to talk about it. I am Corey Willis. He's Steve Coy, coming at you live, youtube.com at Open Caller Pod. Only 20 minutes late, but hey.
Yes. Hey, you know what? It's fine. This is our life, Corey. This is what we're used to, right? But like the phoenix, we will rise from the ashes and get an episode out for our good listeners and viewers. Maybe. We're here.
Yes.
It's a start.
It's maybe live, but is it? Yeah, that technology is always good when it doesn't want to be, or it's bad when it shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating, if I'm being honest. But hey, it is what it is.
Also, that happened to me one time, and the only recourse I had was having a second computer. So,
and you did it.
I can't speak to how it resolved itself later, but it did.
Did you get a new hat?
No. This is old.
Okay.
This is circa first run around or go around of the podcast.
Volume 1 of the podcast.
Reverse V and C.
Oh, hats. There you go. Nice. Who designed that? You?
I sure did.
Looks great. Shout out, Vishal. Come back and visit us sometime.
Yeah. That volleyball doesn't have to be played all the time.
That's right. 24/7. Now he's picking up pickleball. So I guess it's now volleyball's got a competing sport to deal with.
Yeah, look out, eh? Jack of all trades, it seems.
Have you played pickleball?
I've not.
No. Do you have interest to?
I do not. No.
Yeah. I kind of want to try it, but I just don't know if I will. Seems like a lot.
Fair enough. Yeah. You know? Well, exercise, moving around. Like it is like seems like the lazy man's tennis.
It is, right? Yeah.
Everything's
and
smaller.
You don't like rifle the balls super far
because
it, I mean, I tried, but no.
It's a step up from table tennis, but down.
Not quite tennis.
Yeah,
that's right.
Not quite tennis.
It's kind of like down the middle of the road.
I haven't looked into it, but I'm curious as to where the pickleball name came from. Like, what's the pickle?
The interns on that.
What's the pickle of it all?
Maybe it's because you know what? I'm not even going to pretend. We'll just have to.
I can pretend to know. Yeah.
Have this be homework for the good.
And
listener.
like,
if you know, let us know.
It seems very loud.
Mm-hmm.
The plastic ball and the.
It's almost like they've legitimized a sport that uses equipment that you would find at like the dollar store. You know, like the plastic racket with the plastic ball comes in that very like light mesh that you can rip apart and feel like the Hulk. But they've legitimized it and they put it on a tennis court.
Yeah, it's costing you $475 to play.
That's right. And a lifetime of anger. Pulled hammies.
Well, that's the other thing too. Like even outside of the like getting into the sport, like it's pissing off a lot of people in neighborhoods because it's so loud.
Yeah, I never thought about that until you mentioned it, but it makes perfect sense.
Because I remember hearing when it first was taking over during COVID, is that people were bitching because they were converting the tennis courts into pickleball courts so people can get out and keep their distance. And residents were complaining of how loud it is and how early people are outside doing it. They're trying to outlaw it.
Just a bunch of NIMBYs, eh? Not in my backyard.
I will say this: when it's like July and it's bright until like midnight and people are outside, I'm very angry at the loud noise that when I want to go to sleep.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they do turn off the lights at 11 in most. Well, I know for baseball diamonds they do. I'm not sure about tennis courts.
Yeah, I think any public park, it's like what, soon as the sun goes down, you have to get out.
Well, probably baseball.
I just mean from the loitering perspective.
Right. I would know nothing about that. I never loitered in parks as a youth.
Missing out.
Cory, I want to hear all about it.
About loitering?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, tell me all about your escapades.
Let me tell you, there's this sign out on a building
that
says if you were hanging out after these hours.
That's it.
Okay, yes. So I went. Was it a game I saw I conquered or something like that?
Right.
Yes. So we did the Disney trip. We are back. Everybody went. Everybody made it back. No one got left behind.
Dude, you should have like a sound effect for like clapping and you did it. Do you have one handy? I mean, it loses its effect. There we go.
Yeah, so we flew out Monday, got back on Friday. After the events of Monday, just fully anticipating going to be like the fucking shit show, like the trip of nightmares.
To Wally's World, essentially.
To Wally's World, yeah, basically.
Right?
I did not chain the dog to the bumper. No old ladies died.
No one's on the roof of the car.
No hubcaps or anything got taken while I was asking for directions. No one fell asleep driving because we flew. So yeah, no, we
didn't steal cash from a register. Sorry.
No, I didn't. I didn't write any checks to replace anything that I stole. So no, we got to the airport fine. Did the park and fly. That was fine. We were delayed a little bit leaving Ottawa for de-icing because it was snowing. Doesn't matter because I even said like, oh, we're late, but whatever, it's fine. They're gonna make up for it in the air. They always do.
We're there for 5 days. It's fine.
We left
hours.
We left. I think 20 minutes late. Landed 10 minutes early. So perfect. Got our connecting flight. Same thing. De-icing. This one was late. This one actually we left an hour and a half later.
Sorry, where was the connecting flight?
Toronto.
Okay.
Or Toronto or Toronto. However you pronounce it. That one we're on the plane, boarded early, but sat on the plane for a 90-minute longer because they had a de-ice and there was a big lineup. But still made up for the time in the air. So I actually did a ton of research on this trip and trying to find the tips and the tricks to save money and stuff. So one thing was order food from like Amazon Fresh because the hotel allows you to bring it in. They actually have like a dedicated area for shipments and stuff to be sent to that you can pick up when you get there. Okay. So the night before I ordered to be shipped and delivered by the time we landed and got in. So our check-in time was 4. So I said, okay, we'll be there between 2 and 4. They'll hold it for you. So we're flying out. And once you get above the clouds, there's no cell reception anymore.
No.
Until you land.
Oh, I've heard.
Until you land. So as I'm landing, my phone's still not working. So I had to check in with work and get all that roaming and stuff turned on. Then I get the ding, 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 ding. Stuff I ordered was no longer available. Would I like this substitution? Yes or no? So then I get the ding. We didn't hear from you, so we're sending you this anyway. So we ordered some muffins. Didn't get the kind we want. Got a different kind. Not a big deal. But again, it was the whole I'm paying for this. It's not what we wanted. I could have canceled and ordered something again.
But I was 30,000 feet in the air.
Exactly. So then we get to pull into LAX. Whatever, we'll deal with that when we get to the hotel. And then it's like it's 1 p.m. their time, so it's 4 p.m. here. We got to find some place to eat. Kids haven't eaten yet. We're in the worst terminal that has like aside from like Wolfgang Puck, there's like nothing to eat there. And I knew like there was like a Chick-fil-A, all their fast food joints, but they're in a different terminal, not where we were. And I don't know LAX enough to walk around to do it. So
you don't.
I've been there one other time. 2 if you count the return flight. So I'm like, fuck it, we'll just get to the hotel, room service or whatever's near there will pick up. So we get out of the terminal. I'm trying to book the Uber. Uber's like, yeah, we here in 4 minutes. Like, perfect, hit book. Won't let me do it. Like, what the hell? So I'm reading this instructions and it says to get to like a taxi stand, basically, which is not in front of LAX. It's in a different part. So I'm talking to a guy who runs a shuttle. He says, yeah, just get in here. I'll drive you over there. This is what like this guy's here for. So he's picking up everybody. We drop off there. So this $84 Uber, once we land at this taxi stand, is now $120. And he's still 4 minutes away. Whatever, we have to get there. So book it, whatever. Nice guy, young guy. I was commenting on the sweet ride that he had.
And at this point, were you like ready to go full Neil Page in that moment?
What I was kind of doing was, we have to do this. I got to get the kids fed. We got to go. But it also at the same time, doing the math, USD, $120, figuring, divide it in half, add that half back in. So I'm like, now we're looking at $180 cab ride.
Amazing.
Just to get there. And so talking to the guy, it was like a 40-minute drive because LA's and Anaheim are not close. It's about 50 miles. And you just, the one thing I noticed, and
that's long. It
was like 48 minutes. And one thing I noticed that I said to him is that they don't post speed limits on the highway. They only, or interstate, whatever they call it, freeway. They only have the speed limit posted for the exits to tell you what to slow down to. So I said,
okay.
So I said to him, there's a real reliance on drivers to just follow the speed limit. It's not posted. So I guess when you get your license and you read the book and you learn everything, you just know this is what the speed limit I can go. Give or take 10, like everybody else figures. If it's 50, do 60. If it's 40, do 50. But they don't tell you. Like here, every couple kilometers, there's a posted speed limit.
If it's that long.
Yeah. And then like even residential, you can't turn in without seeing the 40.
Yeah. It's posted so often here that we are just, it's ingrained in our minds that if we don't see it for a while, we start to wonder, where is the sign?
Yeah.
Right.
But they don't have a sign. They just are only telling you, hey, there's a curve. So you're 30 miles per hour, drop it to 20. But to go from LA to Anaheim, you just know that it's like, 50 to 60.
Sure.
Yeah, but they know. I didn't know because I can't look. I'm like, where the fuck is how fast? Like, I'm looking at his speed limit. Like, is this right? Is he speeding? Am I going to get there in time?
I wonder if it's just because the traffic is so bad in LA that you never really get up to 60 miles, 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, and
were you going that fast?
Yeah.
Oh,
because we were doing LA. We're going about southeast from LA to Anaheim.
Okay.
All right, so get into Anaheim, get to the hotel. I'm checking in and deciding to let's upgrade the room, but not tell anybody. But don't do that when you've been on the plane since 5:30 in the morning. And it's now 4 p.m. So we're basically almost 12 hours.
It's fair.
And everyone's got their suitcases, their backpacks. They're at the elevator. They just want to go up so we can go get some meat. And I'm talking, chatting and trying to kill time, make it seem like this is it's all part of the process. When meanwhile, I'm waiting to find out, do we have a bigger room available? Get that all taken care of. We go upstairs, unpack everything, and then it's, hey, let's finally get these kids fed. So we go and we find a place to eat, just like figure pizza or something. Not open yet.
Of course.
Because, again, to us, this is nighttime. Them, it's like, fuck, it's people haven't even started their part-time shift. And then we find another place. It's just a chicken joint. Get in there. And again, they got to eat, ordering. It was like $50 for 3 meals for kids. I'm like, that's 50 plus 25, 75 Canadian. Just
one bite each. And then we're sharing.
Basically. And they're eating. And then, you get your milks, whatever. But after that day, I figured I have to stop doing this. I'm just going to go insane.
Yeah. Refinance the home.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah, I'm already on the phone with the bank about taking
right.
my line of credit set up.
And what is this for, sir? Lunch.
Yeah.
Maybe dinner.
Yeah. Can I trade you my vehicle from
That's
the
right.
state?
That's right. Yeah.
It was a cash for kids or something, cars for kids or something.
Cars
like
for kids. That's
right.
You got the 3 kids that are just playing instruments.
Yeah. We were very close to having to panhandle over there.
That's right.
So then I had to go to the hotel. Rough night. Summer wasn't feeling good. It was fears from the plane, but so we just figured. And then the other thing, our hotel room overlooked the second park, the California Adventure.
Okay.
And the view that we had from our perspective is like, fuck, there's like nothing there. Like, this is small. Like, I could, like, there's Guardians of the Galaxy, there's the Cars ride, there's the Ferris wheel. Like, there's nothing here. And we have a whole day to kill there.
That's right.
3 if you count, like, we're doing 2 days of one park. The other one, like, what if we're here for 4 days, we got nothing to do. We've done it all in like a day and a half.
I guess we're watching a lot of movies. It's an expensive movie.
So it's like shit. So we had that playing in our heads. And then next day it was like a just complete 180. We got up. Kids woke up regular time, so 7:00 here, 4:00 there. Since we're staying at the park, we had early entry. So the park opens typically at 8, so you can get it at 7:30. You can go through security no earlier than like 6:45.
Okay.
So get up, eat.
Big difference though.
With
like just like noticeably different getting in that early, or was it still a zoo?
Yeah. So and the other thing, we packed mostly for like LA weather. Shorts, t-shirts, comfortable 29. The mornings were like 6 or 7.
Of course.
Nice. The hottest day we had was, I think the Wednesday was 23. The other 2 days was like 19, 20.
Okay.
One day, really strong Santa Ana winds. So that 7 degrees was quite cool. But first day, just pants, t-shirts, like sweaters on, line up,
just shaking.
Yeah, pretty much. Line up, get through security, get to the park, wait there. They let us in, I think, a little quarter after 7. Then you have to go through. Then you confirm that you are in fact staying at the park. They scan your hotel key in the park and then send you to another line to get in early. But that first day, no word of a lie, we did like almost an entire section in that half an hour because there was nobody. There were so few people in there.
Oh wow!
So we did like 5 rides. Took it. Characters weren't out yet. The characters don't come out until 9. But yeah, we did like almost an entire section just before they even open up for anybody else.
Were you like the McAllisters running down the airport, or was it like were you still able to kind of walk somewhat?
Yeah, no, you can walk.
Collected.
Take your time, like because again, it's only park attendees that were able to get entry into the park early. So you figure how many hotel rooms there are, and there's 3 hotels. So not, again, probably a couple hundred people, but not thousands.
So did you make a lightsaber?
No, we did the Star Wars. Was it? I don't know if they call it Galaxy's Edge in California, like they do in Florida. We did it the last day, but it was really more just taking the kids on the rides and things that they were interested in. Mm-hmm. Like the only person obviously that was interested in Star Wars was myself.
So a bit down on the priority.
Yeah, so it was literally last day.
Yeah.
If we have time.
If we're passing by it on the way to the shuttle to the airport, then maybe. But
like Parker said he wanted to see it, but like to him, like, oh, this is cool, but then like we can just hightail it out of here. He wants to go on a roller coaster. Yeah, so like I saw the Falcon, saw basically the whole Upper Canada Village immersive. Like you're walking around, like, oh look, there's a TIE fighter. There's this shit. Like that was cool. But yeah, this is their first experience with roller coasters, and once they did one, they were all about that. So nothing else.
Well, yeah, it's one of the you either love it or you hate it, right? And I mean,
Yeah.
you guys, you didn't ease them into roller coasters. You're like, we're gonna go to Disneyland and creme de la creme.
But they kind of got the an easing into it, because the first one that they did was in Toontown. It was Chip and Dale had a roller coaster, and no word of a lie, I think you're on it for maybe 45 seconds. It like starts off, you get in the cart, it goes around a corner, and then like one quick little sideways loop, and then you're done. And they loved it. And then now it was like progressively getting
yeah. Like what more can it do? Well, it goes up and sideways, upside down, and like it's a whole world.
Then they did the Incredicoaster in California Adventure, and that one was like you get in, you click around, and then you get like shot out of like a barrel of a gun. It's just quick up a thing and then down and then around. There's a loop in it. And that one.
How are you with roller coasters?
I never liked roller coasters. Yeah. I remember in Wonderland when I was a kid, I think it was like a Scooby-Doo one. It was the old wooden rickety fucking.
Oh yeah, I've been on that one.
And so I was always a skinny kid, and I've really felt this because I was the one sitting with Ava. My dad was a bigger guy, so when you pull the lap bar down, it's snug on him. I have all the fucking room in the world, man. So when you're going down, I gotta lock these knees under the bar, or I'm just out and gone.
Should I be sliding left and right and up and down?
Yeah, exactly. And he's
like,
not holding on to me at all. I'm holding on for dear life. Like I don't want to fly out here.
Did they have Captain EO there, or is that like no? They've retired Captain EO.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Like the staples like Space Mountain, Big Thunder, the Matterhorn, that's all there. Matterhorn and Space Mountain lines were always fucking super long, so we didn't get to hop into those. They did Big Thunder, the railroad that goes around the mountain. Splash Mountain is now Tiana's Bayou something or other. So it's the same thing. It's the waterfall. Right. So they want to do that. They got drenched, as one would expect, doing a waterfall ride.
Are they doing fireworks every night there?
They didn't do any fireworks. I am not entirely sure if it was because of the wildfires or it's just not what they do now. They had a light show, World of Color.
Yeah.
And they were also prepping because when we left, starting this Monday was the Chinese New Year stuff they were doing. So they had that all started to be decked out.
I'm not surprised with the advancements in like drones and whatnot, because you see on social media, you do like drone shows and whatnot, that instead of fireworks, they would just do drones instead. I mean, it's Disney. They've got all the money in the world to do whatever it takes to do that kind of show.
And right? I think it's probably over time that will be every celebration will be a drone show until the drones go rogue.
That's right. And then they become our overlords.
Yeah. But yeah, and then aside from that, like one thing we did for summer was there was a Disney Academy. So we went in there and you got to sit with a Disney animator and they would walk you through drawing a character.
That's cool.
So we had like a big board and a big piece of paper and they would do step by step, like, okay, you do this. And we end up drawing a Donald Duck.
And could you choose the character you wanted to draw?
They had every half hour was a different class, so you could spend all day drawing different ones. So the one we hopped into was Donald Duck. So
and you got to keep it, I'm assuming, afterwards. That's your drawing. So awesome. That's so awesome.
I don't have it with me, but I will. Yeah, I will send you a
picture. And they're half-an-hour sessions.
Yes, sir. And it's cool because as they're like walking you through drawing it, she's like dropping some knowledge bombs on you, like.
Yeah.
Donald Duck, when he was created by Walt Disney, ended up becoming far more popular than Mickey Mouse. Because unlike Mickey, Donald has different emotions. Like he gets angry, he's happy, he gets sad. Mickey's always happy. And then one other thing was outside of superheroes, he is the most popular comic book character.
Donald Duck.
Yeah, that's according to the House of Mouse.
Huh.
Yeah.
And so were the drawings just like your traditional Disney characters, or were there new characters, newer characters?
Yeah, I guess it was whatever artist was doing. Like, I think you could have done like an Olaf. You could have done like a Mickey class. Yeah.
Okay.
And then outside of that, it was just seeing, I guess, the different parks and the different looks of things.
I would be interested in doing that.
Oh yeah, drawing is.
There we go.
Being able to draw like the Disney pros is
back.
Am I? You're not. I don't know who's frozen, me or you.
There we go. I think I'm back.
Yeah, I think you are.
Yeah.
Half hour late for this shit.
Why not? Yeah, exactly. Honest to God. So would you say that it was everything that you had hoped it to be overall?
I don't think.
And let me remind you, this is going to be on YouTube forever.
Yes, forever.
It's just us, Cory.
It's nothing ever goes as smoothly or as you could ever predict, right? And with anything. But in terms of taking them to Disney, getting them to see the stuff we wanted them to see, seeing them have the fun that they had, yeah, I would say it was all
amazing,
worth every penny. Yeah, for sure.
Let me ask you, was there a particular reason why LA as opposed to Florida?
Yes.
Like features, I guess, or
they like their first like cartoons and stuff that they watched involved Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. So basically the Mickey core. And in California, they had moved Mickey and Minnie's houses there. So you're able to, as an attraction, walk through Minnie's house, walk through Mickey's house, and then have your meet and greet with them. They are moving them after California over to, I think, Paris. Okay. And they'll be there probably for like the next decade or so. So it was the only place in North America to still be able to see those attractions. Also, it was the smaller of the two parks in North America, right? Obviously, because Disney World has 4 parks. This one only has 2. It's the only one by Disney that is allowed to have the Marvel characters. Universal has, I think, the rights for their parks for Marvel characters in perpetuity on the East Coast, but not the West Coast. And lastly, Parker loved Cars, and there's only a Cars land at Disneyland.
Okay.
Which was cool because we got to literally walk down fucking the main street of Radiator Springs with Flo's Cafe on one side and Luigi's Casa de Tire, and then like around the corner is the ride you get to go on. So it looked just like the movie.
This wasn't a surprise for them, was it?
No, we told them.
Okay. Still, that's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. I want to see those drawings.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to say mine was the best because I can't say that.
Well, you know what? It was you didn't miss much here in the great
city. Yeah, because we left, it was -2. We got back, it was -2, and then since we've been home, it's been fucking freezing.
No, this is actually no. When did you get home? You got home last Friday. So yeah. So right. Sorry.
I brought it back with me.
Sorry, we tried, but you were saying that it was so cold in LA.
I brought the cold weather from LA back to Canada.
Brought the cold front. It's like I was talking with my mom and stepfather who are in Florida, and they're like, "Yeah, it's so freezing right now. It's like, it's like 9
Are the
degrees.
Lizards falling from the trees?"
Yeah, it's 12 degrees, and gotta wear gloves and scarves and toques. I'm like, okay, stop. Just stop. So yeah, nothing. I mean, the canal's open. That's good for those that like to venture in large, crowded areas with lots of people. Ugh. No, pass.
Which is like funny for me to say because I literally work at a place that on any given night could have 18,000 people crammed into a circle.
You should be used to it. Although it's it's more controlled.
Yeah.
For you, right?
Yeah, that's just chaos on frozen ice.
I'll never forget. There was like one of my earliest memories of going on the canal was skating with my mom and my brother, going down, and there was a lady that was drinking on a hot chocolate or something, and this guy just came barreling right into her and full contact. Cup went everywhere, fell on her. She went ass over tea kettle, and I was like, "This is not cool. Like, this is a dangerous." Dangerous place to be skating. You know, you're on two blades that are sharp that could cut your skin, puncture something. Like, this is kind of where my head was at when I was a kid.
It seems like you take your chances.
You know, like at that point in my life, like the beaver tail wasn't worth it. You know, like it wasn't worth it. Sure, it was great, but no. I think the last time I was in the down at the canal would have been maybe 7 years ago, and I'm okay if I don't ever go again
because of that nonsense, or
well, just it's too crowded. I'm not good with crowds. You know, knowing my luck, I'd step on the one thing that would like just crack through the ice, and I'd go through, and it would be in that dirty water. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Parking would just be terrible. You know, maybe when they finish the LRT, that gives me a straight gunshot straight down. Maybe I'll do it. But no, it's too much. It's absolutely too much for me.
The LRT, eh?
The LRT, that's right. Yeah.
That'll never be done. I mean, on time and on budget, right? So,
hey, did you finish Skeleton Crew?
No, I got caught up until we left, and then I fell behind.
Okay. Well, next episode. What episode are you on? Like, how many more do you have?
5. I have 4 left, so I halfway.
Okay.
Too busy, man. Watching movies.
This is okay. Do we want to go right into that now? Because there's questions. Like, I've got questions.
I don't know. Do we?
Oh, yes, we do. Okay.
Let me skip ahead. Next slide. All right. So I changed my recap to a month recap, so it lays it out better. Because I thought if I keep doing weeks, I'm gonna get lost.
Lots of graphics.
Yeah.
Lots of graphics. No, when we last recorded.
Yeah, there's no thread, dude.
I thought there was.
There is and there isn't. Okay, go ahead. Since we last recorded.
Okay, so you can't say that there is and there isn't. It's like, no, you can't. So okay, so for the good listener and the good viewer, our last episode you had just watched Best in Show, I believe was the last one.
Wow, fuck, then that's been a long time.
Well, you were away. You know, so yeah, we're looking at what. Anyway, but it was shortly thereafter that you had mentioned to me there's a movie at the end of the month and the movie at the beginning of the month, which is Little Shop of Horrors, and you were going to draw a line between them. Was that not it?
I said I should do that.
Oh, you should. Okay.
But I think with the days I have remaining, I can connect it just solely based on people who are appearing in the movies.
Yeah, well,
because it's insane. Like, and again, what has been happening is as I've been watching one, let's say, for example, Roger Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching it, and obviously stars Bob Hoskins, right? So I'm thinking, you know what? I haven't watched in a while. Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
So that's the next one. And then who's in Super Mario Brothers? Well, John Leguizamo plays Luigi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen in a while.
Okay. Okay.
Spawn also has Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen has a role in Wall Street.
Hold on. Martin Sheen, what character is he in Spawn?
He's like the army guy that Al works for. He's like the mercenary, the one that's has the virus that he wants to take over. And
I completely forget that I've lost that.
Well,
okay, but it's funny. I remember John Leguizamo as the clown, but I don't remember Charlie Sheen.
Okay. And then he moves on. Like the guy who, well, I think the senator in Wall Street's also Doc in The Thing. Kurt Russell's in Backdraft. You know, it goes on.
No, continue because we've got Outbreak.
Okay, well, you want me to start from
Let's fucking do it. Let's go live.
All right, so that Donald Sutherland is a pyro in Backdraft, who's also an army commander in Outbreak. Who's also in Outbreak? Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey was in The Usual Suspects. The Usual Suspects also has Kevin Pollak. Kevin Pollak starred in A Few Good Men. Obviously, Jack Nicholson, A Few Good Men. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
You only have 300, and you only have to do that 343 more times.
But like the most fucked up thing is, like, as I'm doing it, and it's just because, again, it's all random, but Kevin Bacon is in A Few Good Men, who was also in Diner, what I watched earlier, who was also in Sleepers, which I watched earlier.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, though. I'm telling you.
Brad Pitt is in Sleepers, which also led me to Cool World. Right? Like it just, and I have like Ron Howard in American Graffiti, also directed Splash. You know what else he directed? Fucking Backdraft. So I'm just saying, like it's not intentional, but there's so much overlapping here. Daryl Hannah in Splash. Daryl Hannah's also in Wall Street.
She was in Wall Street. That's right. Yeah. She was Charlie Sheen's girlfriend.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Charlie Sheen and Michael Douglas's girlfriend.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what'd be interesting if you're able to get to the end of the year. It'll be interesting to see. Okay, what actor did you see the most of throughout the year? What director did you watch?
Be fucking like character actor, not even a star. Like if even just this month alone, Bruno Kirby was in There's Something About Mary, City Slickers, and Sleepers. Like that's 3 movies completely random that he's was in, and he's not even the star of any of those movies.
Mm-hmm.
JD Walsh is.
Sorry, where is Something About Mary?
No, When Harry Met Sally.
Okay, you had said.
So I may have. That's my fault.
That's right. That's the second best comedy of all time, by the way. That's why I stuck
JD Walsh is also in Outbreak and Few Good Men and Backdraft. Again, just character actors who show up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably do this whole fucking year with William Fichtner.
Yeah, Stanley Tucci, that kind of thing.
Stanley Tucci. Right? Fucking who else is like in everything? David Strathairn. Or
I don't know the names. I'm not
Dan Heidietta, you know, like the one who's just in everything.
Who's the one goon? He's in he was in like RoboCop, he was in Thomas Jane's Punisher, but he's always like that bad. I think he might have even been in Bad Boys, the first one, but he's always that henchman, like the number 2, and he's got like
I can't remember the name of it.
He's the guy, right?
The guy who's always in everything. Yeah.
The guy who's always in everything.
The guy who's in everything.
That's right.
The guy. Yeah.
Okay. So for everyone listening and watching, and myself included, you don't know the next day's movie? Like you're not planning ahead.
No, I don't know the next day's movie until I'm watching that day's movie.
Okay. So it's not as elaborate as I thought, where it's like a cork board with like string and tacks and
it's like a big conspiracy theory.
Like that.
No,
this could mean something.
Yeah, I'm trying to think things out too. Like that might all stop. It'll just be like themed, like it's February, so maybe it's like all like romantic comedies.
Okay,
but
yeah,
they have to be my kind of romantic comedies,
right? And give me an example.
Well, even that, maybe that romantic comedy
13 going on 30. Great.
No, like a movie that's like, it's like at its core is a love story, like Rocky, or like even that Some About Mary is essentially a romantic comedy, right?
That is very romantic.
Or a Jay Maguire, like shit like that.
Yeah. Okay, I can get.
Not just traditional like 10 Things I Hate About You or.
Okay. That's good. 10 things how to break up with a guy in 10 days. I'm sure there's a movie called that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is. I had mentioned on our last episode that I was going to do a comic a day because I was inspired by this. And then we had a conversation afterwards. So I am in the throes of finishing Brian Michael Bendis's 10-year epic run in Marvel. And I am at Dark Reign right now. So I think once that's done, I think I'm going to start doing something like that. Or I might just pick a writer or a series and just do a complete series. So I am inspired though. And I mean, in some way, shape, or form, I'm kind of doing what you're doing, right? Like I'm going back. I was looking at some of the comics that I read from Bendis's run, New Avengers as an example. Bought them in 2004 or 2006, sorry. And reading them 19 years later, like that's, you know, it's got to count for something, Cory.
It does.
It's got to count for something.
I finally read the first issue of Absolute Batman on the plane.
Okay, I actually got my up here in Canada. We had a strike with our post office, our Canada Post, and I had ordered Absolute Batman from Scotty Young's shop, and yeah, they finally came. So I've got Absolute Superman, and then we got Batman, and then we got Wonder Woman. I started to read Superman, haven't gotten through it, but you said you read Batman?
Yep, just the first issue.
How did you enjoy it?
It's all right so far. Yeah.
Jason Aaron. Is it Jason Aaron?
No, man. Scott Snyder.
Oh, sorry, Jason Aaron's Superman. Okay, Scott Snyder. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it something you'll continue to read?
Yeah, like it. It's really like it's legit just a fucking taste. Like you don't really get your feet wet in it at all.
Yeah,
it's a toe dip for that first issue.
I'm hearing good things about this Absolute line though. I know that this came out of a DC All-In special where Darkseid disappeared, but I don't know if this is going to be kind of the new status quo for a little bit, like, you know, the New 52 was kind of. So depending on how I enjoy it, I might DL the other issues.
Yeah, the thing about that kind of stuff is like, since they're redoing the mythos, I can't. Yeah, it would have to be a short stay because people will not enjoy how it fucks with continuity, right?
Well, yeah, and I'm thinking about Superman specifically with Absolute Superman, that with the new movie coming out in June. Yeah, they're not gonna fart around with the character too much. They're gonna, you know, obviously go on a huge marketing campaign to do like an Action Comics or Superman, and you know, the red, white, and blue, and you know, all that stuff with him. So we'll see.
Because like this one is, you know, like Bruce ain't rich. You know,
oh, really?
He's like a mechanic.
What?
Yeah. Okay. And Alfred is like some mercenary for hire.
Well, okay.
With like no tie to Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne's dad was a teacher, not a doctor.
Oh, they're just going completely off script.
Martha's still alive.
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's almost like, you know, pick anyone off the street, come and write a Batman story. That's like my mom writing a Batman story. Like, okay, he's a mechanic that grew up from a working collar family.
He's just a regular Joe, like does odd jobs. Like that's how he gets around Gotham, is that he, like, you know, he gets a job working for like Gotham Electric. So now he knows like the power grid. Now he's working over here, so now he can tap into this stuff. Like that's how it all.
So he's got to be a quick learner, because I mean,
yeah, no, he's a smart kid.
Yeah, because you would be having to spend lots of years in that industry to know that industry. Not him. He's a quick learner.
That's right.
He's a fast track.
Yeah. Moving up in the world quickly.
That's right.
You doing your Law and Collar, or?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can do
All right, let's do that then. We'll do this first, then break, or?
Let's do break.
Right. Okay, it's a short one. I only have a short clip this time.
What do you call the new water and ooze blast and oozinator? Oh, yeah! Gross! Ew! Disgusting! And of course, awesome! The new oozinator blaster from Super Soaker. Major pumping required. Refill sold separate.
I will say this. In a different light. Seems very inappropriate.
Yeah, right. And yes, and
For
I don't
some
know
women
if
can
I
relate.
would really right. And I would just be, I don't know if I'd want to be playing that in like the park. You know, like, hey, let's go. It's a hot summer day. Let's go get doused with ooze. No,
Just
no.
come
And it
home,
kind of
come home. You told your mom you're going out with the guys, and you come back.
does it not look like the gun from Halo?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. It's what inspired Halo, just an ooze gun.
That's right. Guys at was it Bungie were like, you know what? Remember that oozinator?
They heard the gun term Uzi, and then they thought of that. I mean, Christ, anyone can make millions off of toys at this point.
Especially back in the 90s. Fuck. Hell, in that case, they made toys and they made TV shows off those toys. They made millions.
Yep.
Alrighty, let's do this. Courts in session.
In the vast world of pop culture, movies, TV shows, and characters are not always what they seem. Some are beloved, others controversial, and a few downright guilty. These are their stories.
All right. Let's get this started.
You have the gavel. I love it. Okay, so I wrote this a little while ago. We'll talk about it first. And then I'll mention like where the inspiration came from. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're here today to discuss a matter of galactic importance.
Oh, shit.
Picture this. You're cruising through the galaxy in your starship, minding your own business, when bam, you find yourself smack in the middle of the Battle of Endor from Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Without a trusty deflector shield, your ship would be shredded faster than you can say Death Star. Let me present to you 3 irrefutable pieces of evidence as to why deflector shields are the greatest sci-fi technical achievement in space travel. Exhibit A. Deflector shields are like the universe's most comprehensive insurance policy. We've all seen the classic moment when a ship's shield flares up, absorbing energy blasts and debris like they were swatting away pesky flies. Get out of here. Think about the Millennium Falcon weaving through the chaos of a massive space battle, deflecting laser fire left and right. Can your warp drive do that? Didn't think so. Did not think so.
No, I don't think so, yeah.
Didn't think so. Shields keep you safe from laser fire, rogue asteroids, and even that awkward alien invasion. Where did they come from? Without them, you'd be signing up for a cosmic catastrophe insurance policy. Premiums through the roof. Exhibit B, cool factor to the max. So let's talk about sheer coolness for a second. Badassness, if you will. Who hadn't dreamed of commanding a starship and shouting, "Shields up"? It's iconic. It's badass. It sends a clear message. We're not going down without a fight. Some might argue for things like the TARDIS or the Millennium Falcon's hyperdrive, but let's be real. Neither of those things will save you from a direct hit. Shields are the gold standard in coolness, period. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, while it's undeniably cool to shout jump to light speed, because we all kind of get excited when we hear Han Solo yelled at with Chewbacca and zip off into the vast expanse of space, let's be practical for just one moment, shall we? Firstly, jumping to light speed is often a one-way ticket out of the frying pan into the fire. You never know what you might jump into, another asteroid field, a space battle, or worse, the heart of a star. We've seen that in the most recent Star Wars movie where they were like hyper skipping different worlds. Unacceptable. Deflector shields, on the other hand, provide consistent, reliable protection whenever you need it. Secondly, how often do you see your favorite ships jumping to light speed as a defense maneuver during battle? Almost never. You never see that. Why? Because it's not a viable solution in the heat of combat. Deflector shields are the constant guardian, always ready to absorb that next blast or deflect the next piece of debris. Lastly, while jumping to light speed might give you a rush, it doesn't save you from a direct hit. Your ship could be obliterated even before you hit the throttle button. Shields are always there, offering a critical buffer, keeping your ship in one piece. So you even have the option to jump the light speed in the first place. So while jump to light speed is undeniably awesome, it's the deflector shields that keep the dream alive long enough for you to shout those iconic words. Without shields, your light speed would just be a flashy way to disintegrate. Lastly, Exhibit C, the science behind the magic. While other sci-fi tech might just hand wave their way through explanations, looking at you, Warp Drive, deflector shields often come with pseudo-scientific justifications that make them almost believable. Pardon me. They're the perfect blend of science and imagination. Whether it's generating a protective energy field or redirecting projectiles, shields make you feel like there's a slice of reality in the fantasy. They're the unsung hero of space tech, making everything else possible. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, without deflector shields, our favorite space heroes wouldn't stand a chance. They just wouldn't. They are the backbone of space travel, the unsung saviors of starships. And let's face it, they make everything indefinitely cooler. So the next time someone tries to argue that some other sci-fi tech is superior, Cory, perhaps you might, let's just remind them, shields are the first and last line of defense. Game, set, match. Your Honor, I rest my case.
You're not going to be arguing for artificial gravity?
Well, that's okay. Slow down.
Watch Ahsoka yet?
What's that?
Watch Ahsoka?
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember if it was that one or if it was in Rogue One. Going to your point of deflector shields and shields in general. I think up until more recent Star Wars, you were able to just fly in, fly out with no acknowledgement of a shield being up on a plane.
Yeah. Okay.
Except for, I can't remember, I think it could have been Rogue One, where they literally opened part of the shield in order to fly in. Because that was the whole thing. Like one of the Star Destroyers got shot down and crashed into the shield that was surrounding the plane.
Oh, yes. I remember that. Okay. Yeah. You know what? See, they've taken liberties with everything. Like it was even.
Well, just like to your point, like we were watching like from Star Wars in 77 to was it 81 and then 85?
83.
83, yes. And yeah, the deflector shield is up or it's down, but you don't see it. And then now in newer versions of the movies, which ironically Rogue One, which is placed before the events of New Hope, there is literally a visual guard around said planet.
Yeah, it made me think. This topic came to me because we were watching Skeleton Crew, and I don't know exactly which scene it was, but the scene involved obviously deflecting fire coming into the ship. Yeah, and I thought to myself, like, without that shield, the story would be over. Like, you know, like the typical GIF that you see or the meme you see, like opening credits, get shot, and movie over. Which is like quite honestly what would happen. Like if the second a ship opened fire on you, you'd be toast. You'd be toast. And it doesn't get the credit that it used to. And then I said this last time, or at least a couple episodes, Rian Johnson has messed with me when it comes to just the concept of space travel because of, you know, like the fuel and the, like just everything. Like now it's in my head every time there's a hyper jump. It's like, well, how much fuel is that costing?
Well, it's like when you have an action movie where they're just endlessly shooting a gun, but you know they have to reload.
Right.
But there's no acknowledgement of it until there's, I got 2 left.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, what happened to the other 800 rounds that you've been doing? Unless it factors into the plot, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like it's your point. Deflector shields until you have to warp speed through a Star Destroyer, which had never been done at all ever in anything.
Nope.
Shields or no
some
shields.
Great effects, though. Let's be honest.
Shields or no shields. I guess warp drive through a fucking Star Destroyer.
So, Your Honor, as the jury is sequestered and I approach the bench, can we get a plea deal from, you know, the accusers Did I win the case? Did I win the case?
I mean, if you think about it,
you know, it's a suspended sentence, sir.
Time served. Yeah, like, because just going fast is just going fast, right?
And let's be honest for a second, like that hyperdrive, like the coolest thing about it all happens within the first 2 seconds, where the stars go behind you. After that, you're just
then you're out,
and then you're there.
And then, like, because going light speed is Star Wars thing, like you have to do different stuff. Like in the MCU, it's what they fucking warp to different points, right?
Yeah, like what was it? What was it called?
I can't remember the terminology either.
Or like warp hopping.
Yeah.
It was something like hopping or skipping.
Yeah,
or
no one can do that many like hops and whatever.
Stop. Yeah. That's right.
It's like, what do you like Nightcrawler?
This is unconceivable.
Warping it out. Yeah.
Bamfing your way across the universe.
Because like even Star Trek has that too, right? They have their shields and like you're firing at this fucking machine and the bullet stoppings.
Countless
it's sci-fi 101. War of the Worlds. They're firing missiles at the fucking tripods that are walking, and what? They have a shield up, but somehow you can still walk through it.
Well, maybe it's because it's not impervious to organic matter, Corey.
Maybe.
Jesus Christ. Come on, man. Come on. What a great movie, though, actually. You'd mentioned War of the Worlds, Tom Cruise's War of the Worlds. That was a really good movie.
Yeah, it had no business being as good as it was.
No, but it was good.
Like, and it's multiple movies in one. Like, you have the classic alien invasion action flick, but then you also have like kind of like dark, sinister stuff. Yeah, like when the Tim Robbins, like, when he's all like batshit crazy because of what's going on.
But I think that's what made me appreciate, because that would actually happen. And I don't know if I have to assume that his character, Tim Robbins' character in the movie, was created for the movie.
Yeah, never.
And Orson Welles didn't have that character in the audio show, I'm sure, because I think it was before its time.
Yeah.
Right.
It was more about trying to trick the world in believing that this was actually happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a whole other conversation too. Like, how crazy would that have been, hearing that for the first time, thinking like, oh my God, we're being invaded by something. What? I have no idea.
In the social media age, like that could happen any day now.
Right. I mean, I think there's been at least 900
one TikTok video.
Landings. Crazy.
Yeah, man. All right, we'll do some quick geekery.
Mm-hmm.
Because have you still been sitting on this?
I watched it one time. I watched it. I got pressured at work.
You son of a bitch.
I know.
All right. Well, I guess
because there were a lot of questions being thrown my way, and
like, who is this Daredevil? Why is he born again?
Well, no, but like, anyway, we'll watch it and
yeah. All right.
Have you seen it?
Thank you for finding the time. I will admit, it's not entirely unpleasant seeing you again.
We all feel that way.
He's not big now.
A lot of time has passed. By the look of it, you've come up in the world.
I could say the same about you.
The mayor serves his city. I can see you're not entirely convinced.
Can you blame me? I can't shake the feeling that you're gaming the system.
Why did you stop being a vigilante?
The line was crossed.
It's hard to come to terms with the violent nature. Hating the power it has over us.
This city can't go unchecked.
Sometimes peace needs to be broken. And chaos must reign.
Mind putting the hatchet down? I was raised to believe in grace. But I was also raised to believe in retribution.
Oh, lots of bones. Lots of bones, lots of blood.
Bones be broken.
Bones they be breaking. Yeah.
That's right, man.
I'm so excited for this. Like, this is he's my favorite Marvel character, though. Yeah, always has been.
Even if he wasn't, like, give me this. I will take this over almost anything else that they've done.
Yeah. The only gripe.
Yes,
I shouldn't say
as
the
big
only
as he
gripe.
was.
He wasn't, though. He's not as big as he was, and I think they've shifted the focus of the Kingpin mytho to his voice, which is great.
Yeah,
but
it's more the actions
when you're almost like if you think if this is supposed to be in canon for the Netflix series, which I think it is, right?
Yes.
If you remember season 1, he was massive, and it's almost like, you know, that was what, 10 years ago, 12
like
years ago. Yeah, 2013, I think it might have been. They're making it so like he's aging, and like any person as they age, they kind of like their frame gets a bit smaller, you know. All that aside, though, whatever, it's still going to be amazing. Yeah, like the only questions that I guess won't be answered until we watch it are season 3 of the Netflix series really pulled a lot from that Born Again series, but this is Born Again, so how much, like, you know, they're obviously it's obviously Born Again to bring him into the proper MCU.
It'd be like using Age of Ultron, right? They just took a title.
Yeah. Muse looks great.
Yeah, we got Muse and White Tiger.
Yeah. I'm kind of happy they didn't show Bullseye in his costume, because obviously I'm sure you've seen like the leaked photos when filming was going on that he does end up being in his proper costume. So I like that they didn't tease that. Makes you wonder, like, where does this go afterwards? Like, does it go to like a Marvel Knights, like him, Punisher?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You bring Ghost Rider in, and
I need to see Punisher. I still haven't seen that series.
Yeah, like the second season I found a harder sit than the first, because it's an original villain.
Okay.
And it's less about like we get in Daredevil season 2, we get the backstory of Frank, which we all know. And this season 1 is basically finishing that story, and then season 2 is separate from that.
So was Jigsaw or like the Russian or anyone in the Punisher Netflix series?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one. First Jigsaw in season 1. But kind of. Kind of. Yeah. You'll if you watch it, you'll see.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be great though. No, I think it's gonna be
do not disagree at all. I think it still ranks up there as one of the best things that they've done, which is ironic because it started outside of MCU proper, and it's still like leaps and bounds over some of the, especially the shit as of late.
You know what though? It's because it's practical effects.
Yeah.
You know, and they're not. That's the problem with a lot of Marvel movies. Is as awesome as
I swear to God, if his mask is nanotech, I'm gonna lose my mind.
No, I probably won't, but who knows? But the amount of like green screen effects that we're now just inundated with, it's a bit much.
Yeah.
Whereas like with this, it's now like you're literally on the street filming, and yeah, it's gonna be
like if I was a director, like I wonder how much of it now is directors wanting to do it, or Marvel just saying this is how we're gonna film it, and you can be on board or not. Because to show up and okay, here's the shot list. We got the green up, so just pretend that this shit's flying at your head. All right, and action cut. Okay, let's move on.
Like, yeah, it's kind of hard too, right?
Choreography, because like the fight sequences are all CGI now.
Like even directors, maybe not so much since COVID or since before or since after Endgame, but if Marvel is, saying that if they're directing it really truly themselves and not the directors.
Let's just look at Winter Soldier compared to Brave New World that's coming out. Like we know, like with Red Hulk and all this other shit, you can just look at it. Most of the scenes are just beyond obvious that they're shot on a green screen.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, yeah, we have Winter Soldier and there's going to be CGI in it, but they shot it fucking in New York. They shot it in Washington. They shot it where they needed to shoot it, out in public.
Yeah,
with actual stunts. And this, you can tell, does not have it. And like that, the cherry blossom scene drives me nuts every time I see it because it just looks so fake. That scene is standing there in front of nothing.
Yeah, and that scene bothers me for that reason, but another reason as well, where I need to see this movie because all I'm thinking about is how the fuck can an unpowered person take on a gamma raged Hulk? I mean,
yeah,
and that's where you must have thrusters in the wings that pushes them up and like twirls them around and like aerodynamics to adamantium wings and whatnot. But it's just it feels like the first example in a long time where there's such a mismatch between the characters in a film. I can't remember the last time there was such a mismatch where like you clearly could kill anyone, Red Hulk, to on your left, Sam Wilson. Or I guess he'd be on your right, pardon me.
Yeah, I don't know, because I would say the only other one I could think of would be the first encounter in Incredible Hulk with the Hulk and Emil, but he had already been taking a super serum at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he had like one injection, but he still had some powers in him. Yeah, no, I can't.
So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And even I saw an article where Anthony Mackie was saying that Chris Evans was saying, I want you to be the next Captain America, and that's why he took on the role as Captain America. Like really? Like is that the reason why?
That's like people who never read the books.
That's right. Like honestly, like Jesus.
Maybe he means before Bucky.
Right.
We're gonna jump the continuity a little bit.
All that said, I'm looking forward to the movie.
I mean, I think it is. It's going to be what it is, and we can either enjoy it or like it'll be better than some of the other stuff. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think it'll be good just to see how impactful was that one movie in 2024 in terms of a reset for all of us.
Because this will be the first time in a while where we're actually going to have a story move.
Yeah.
We're going to be touching back on stuff from 4 years ago and pushing the needle forward. I'll be curious to see how the Serpent Society is going to work with no like serpents.
But maybe there is, and we just don't know about it.
But they're going to try to make it like grounded, right?
Well, that was like one of
they're all going to be code names,
wasn't it?
Sorry?
That was one of the original drafts was the Serpent Society.
Like
before GW Bridge.
I think he Giancarlo actually did mention publicly about the Serpent Society, so I think they might be in there, but it feels like it's gonna be code names.
Oh, it could be
just like military guys with code names.
Have you watched any What If?
No. Did you watch Craven?
So, okay, I started watching Craven,
yeah,
and I got about half an hour or so in, maybe 40 minutes, and then I was falling asleep. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it tomorrow. Went to go watch it tomorrow. The link didn't work.
All right.
So if you,
oh yeah,
well, but
let's do a screener because we're reviewers now.
I was okay with it. Like I was enjoying it. I started watching it late, and I got tired. Yeah.
Well, I know What If has been pissing people off because I fucking give like Howard the Duck a kid.
Well, see, we've only seen the first.
I thought that was like the first one, or maybe they all dropped at once.
They might have all. I think they did all drop at once. Yeah, they did.
What is your beef with What If before we move on to the other two stories?
I kind of want to stop relying on the voice actors and their characters, and just everything has to do with like Red Guardian, the Hulk, Black Widow, Shuri. Like this is an opportunity for you to introduce new characters and wild concepts instead of just relying heavily on caring more about the voice of the characters.
Hey, we got Chris Hemsworth back, guys.
Yeah, but like, see, that's good. Like, I'm good. Like, I want to see some wild shit. Like, I What If is a great opportunity for them to almost test run characters that they're considering for phases down the road. Silver Surfer is an example. Why not just do like a Silver Surfer What If and just introduce the character, like tease the character a little bit? What about even some X-Men, like just, or something to do with mutants, or just like really put your, I don't know. I think I'm just done with the characters, to be honest, maybe. And in the cartoon format, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Like we like what if, like, oh, what if this person fought this person?
Yeah, I'm just in no rush. Like the boys this week have been like, oh yeah, you want to, because we finished Skeleton Crew. Do you want to watch What If? I'm like, I mean, I'm okay. But
you watch Andor?
No.
God, man, it's season 2's coming.
I know. I wanted to. We started to watch it with the boys, and I don't know if it was for the kids. So yeah,
not really. It's more...
Believe me, I'm on a full Star Wars kick right now. Like I will, anything Star Wars, I'm all about. So maybe that's just something that I need to watch myself.
You watched the Clone Wars with the kids?
We started to. It's yeah. What is it, like 7 seasons, 8 seasons? Yeah. Anyway, what else we got for geek news?
What's our favorite thing?
Cotton candy.
That's right. Casting rumors.
So
we talked about Josh Brolin maybe being Lanterns. Apparently, he's hinting he's dark side. Maybe.
Okay.
He's gonna be both fucking galactic baldies for Marvel and DC.
He's really cornering that market, eh?
If there is a big bluish purple guy who's bald and he's gonna run the universe,
Omega Beams and Infinity Gems. That's the name of the episode. Omega Beams and Infinity Gems. But yeah, I mean, sure, like his voice is good. Sure, yeah, okay. I mean,
he's got to do something different though, right?
How about be a good guy?
Well, isn't Cable a good guy?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, you're right. He was a good Cable. But again, like, are we already at the point of Darkseid in James Gunn's universe, or I thought he was going to do completely different and not just jump with both feet into the frying pan?
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. Does he know what he's doing? I know his whole thing is a movie doesn't get made unless the script is approved. So anything is pure speculation unless he says otherwise. Like the same thing. Yeah, we don't cast until we get a script, and we don't move into production until we have a script.
I guarantee these rumors, like at some point, these rumors have got to be purposely leaked just to test the reaction from the masses to say, like, would this be a good idea? People are like, oh yeah, that's freaking amazing, or like, what the fuck are you thinking? That goes into their casting calls, maybe. Whatever, good for him. I mean, if I could say that I was Thanos and Darkseid, be awesome. So good on you, Josh.
And to your point, this one's not a rumor, but this is legit, and this one has been floating around forever.
Yeah,
Jason Momoa is Lobo in Supergirl, which is now filming.
Yeah. Which I mean, I think that's good, right?
Yeah, no, like he's got the hair, he's got the beard, he looks
got
like
the attitude.
All he needs is the red eyes.
And it's have you read Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow?
I have not.
No, so Tom King wrote, I can't remember who drew it, and yeah, it's quite good. And he, at least from what I remember, Lobo had a pretty big part in it was 12 issues, so I want to say in like the first 6 of those 12 he had a pretty big part, and I think he came back towards the end. So I heard somewhere with this that they don't know to what level Momoa will be like in that movie as Lobo, but my gut tells me if it's anything like the story, then he'll have a pretty big role in that movie as Lobo. And it fits him. Like, you think back to the Justice League where, he was screaming, like when he jumped on the Batmobile, and I can't remember what he screamed, but he was like, yeah, bro, whoa. Like, that's Lobo. That's not Arthur Curry.
Oh, yeah. No, like even I thought the casting of him as Arthur Curry, Aquaman to the lamers, was wrong from the get-go. Like, even like the new 52 where he had the longer hair, he was still blonde.
Yep.
Right?
Not tattooed. Like,
no.
Like,
so I thought that was just odd casting from then. But again, we had Joker with deranged tattooed on his forehead. And
I wouldn't be surprised if Momoa wanted Lobo to begin with.
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, well, we're not doing him yet, but we'll give you Arthur Curry because our continuity doesn't mean shit. So
not, sir.
If you want to do Arthur Curry and then jump on over to Mr. Terrific and then hip scop over to Lobo, sure, do it.
It's still fine and funny. We're getting Mr. Terrific already. Like, that's
well,
jumping off point.
We've already seen him technically.
I know, but it's funny that like what they did in the Arrowverse is taking over mainstream now.
But it supports what they said about the Superman movie, where it's a world where he's already established, which I'm kind of okay with. I don't need to hear the origin. Kind of like what they did with.
But do you find it funny that they're rebooting an entire universe and you're going to get Mr. Terrific
and Guy Gardner,
not Batman,
and not Batman, and Guy Gardner with his mushroom Lloyd Christmas cut? Yeah,
you're going to get Hawk Girl and no Batman.
Yeah,
you're getting who else is fucking in that movie?
Metamorpho
and no Wonder Woman.
That's right. Yeah, it's almost like
Superman and like no Flash. You're fucking again. There's like so many people in this movie,
dude. They're like, that's my DC shelves over there. It's crazy.
Yeah,
we're getting Our Man. And no, we're not. Probably not.
Who else we got here?
It's a star-studded cast. That's
Hawk Girl, engineer, Rick Flag Sr., but no Batman. Eve Teskmacher, Metamorpho, Mr. Terrific, Maxwell Lord.
Max Lord, okay.
Yeah. But again, no Batman. And whoever Ellen Tudyk explained. It'd be someone that's CGI that has a voice.
Now maybe we're being teased Batman in like a credit scene afterwards. Who knows?
Yeah.
That would be something. That would just like that would go from here. Sorry, audio listeners, to here. In terms of they were able to keep some surprise under wraps and then surprise us all with
the surprise will be it's Pattinson. They're gonna come. It's not gonna be Elseworlds after all. That's why it's 2027. That's why we're 4 years with no script.
Yeah, okay. That could work. How old is Pattinson? Like, do we have him for a while?
Do we have him? Well, he's under contract for at least one more movie.
No. But like, my concern is obviously, I live in the real world. Like, is he old enough to or young enough to play the role of the character?
He is 38.
Oh fuck yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, especially if he is going to be in Brave and Bold and is going to have a little Robin to deal with.
Do you have any cast recos for Robin?
If they're doing Damian and you're having a 38-year-old Batman, like you can't though. Like you can't have a 38-year-old Batman and have like a 12-year-old or 14-year-old Damian running around.
Why not?
Because Bruce would have been training to be Batman at that time.
Yeah,
not fathering no kid.
Listen, he was a teenager abroad. He could have had one night of
like he'd been 24. Mind you, I had 24.
So I'm just saying.
Okay, but I was no vigilante.
That's right.
I wasn't trading with the League of Shadows or
only in my heart.
Only
in my heart.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
No, I can't think of any child actors. What's Jake Lloyd doing? Anything? Yeah. No.
What's the guy?
Can we de-age him?
What's the guy from Jerry Maguire? The human head weighs 8 pounds.
Jonathan Lipnicki.
Yeah.
Right? It's the only ones we know. What's Macaulay?
Like Ralph Parker. De-age. What's his face?
Peter Billingsley.
Thank you. Yeah. Let's do
Ralphie. That. I don't know. I don't know any kids that you're gonna cast as a young Damien. Tom Holland. Like right, he's perpetually 16.
I started watching last night No Way Home. And I got like 10 minutes in because I'd already seen the movie and I was like, you know what?
Are you at the point now where you just notice the plot holes and have to just call them out?
It's not so much that, but when he was swinging back to his place with MJ at the same time that May was breaking up with
Happy,
thank you. They broke into Peter's room and he was built like a shit brick house. And I'm thinking like, okay, like.
Yeah, I don't get that. Just because you got bit by a radioactive spider does not instantly give you muscles.
I know, and I just like I just think, and I can't remember because I didn't make it that far in the movie. If did May know about him being Peter at that point?
Yeah, I noticed it after the first movie.
Was it the first movie?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's acceptable. But yeah, just. Super built like teenager, like okay,
yeah. No, I'm with you. Mind you, like if you go back to like the '94 cartoon, like, they did him after like was it the like the '90s comics where everybody was fucking jacked?
Yeah,
but it makes no sense. Like
it's still like that in the comic books. Everyone's just built like a shit brick house.
It's just. I never understood it really either.
Hey, you're in grade 9 and you could participate in World's Strongest Man.
Like I guess like crime fighting is working out, but yeah, you're not gonna like it's not leg day. I'm only gonna kick ass with my legs today, guys.
That's right. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Well, if you had played Spider-Man 2, then you would know that there are some moves that involved leg days.
I've started it.
For real?
For real.
How far have you gotten?
I'm still dealing with Sandman, so maybe like I'm 2% in.
Oh, you're not even yet. So wait, hold on. Am I actually talking to you about me finishing something and you haven't finished it yet?
That's right.
Is that?
I finished the other two, Spider-Man and Miles.
I started Survivor, which is pretty good. Star Wars Survivor.
Oh, I'm like, I know you watch Survivor.
I started the PS5 Jeff Probst Survivor. It's great. It's a great game.
It's so immersive. It's like you're there.
Right. That's right.
You're like eating the bugs too.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're all into Star Wars. That's right.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just feeling it, you know.
Shit. What were we talking about? Oh yeah. So yeah, No Way Home. Yeah, let me know when you get to the point where you're watching it, going, this makes no sense.
I think I'm good. I'm good. I just basically, I was like, what am I going to put on? I was trapped in one of those, what we've all experienced, which is searching 45 minutes for a movie, and it's like, I've got to pick something, so threw it on. And I wish you could actually take movies in whatever streaming platform you have, and we'll use Disney.
Sure.
And I wish you could just pick a movie, No Way Home, and just like clip and save just the scenes that you want to watch. And then you can just put it on and just watch like that, that action scene or whatever, that dialogue scene or whatever it might be. That would be fun.
That's like a YouTube channel waiting to be born. Just the good parts.
Just the good parts. Like Adam Sandler with Click. Like just get me to the freaking good parts,
I will say I have thought about the pros and cons of having that said remote.
Yep. 100%. 100%.
Like, I would have to be very fucking specific to not like skip over my entire life.
That's right. Yeah. You'd almost need like a safe word because it would happen too easily.
Yeah, like
too easily.
Certain things you're not skipping because you want them, but yeah, that whole like skip to my promotion, never. Because if it never came, like you'd be dead.
That's right. Yeah, you'd be retired.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to play with though, but no, yeah, you're gonna have to be careful.
Did you know the original ending to that movie ended with him dying?
I kind of got the sense that would make sense because you're watching the movie and it was, yeah.
And then test screening, like, oh, I don't like this, so they added it was like you got to do over.
Family first. I watched that movie not too long ago. It's a tearjerker, man. Cory's, is it?
What?
Is it? Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it makes you realize, though. It makes you realize that you shouldn't be fast forwarding.
Perspective of what the important things are. Yeah,
I'm going through a lot right now with my oldest one, who's coming up to being a teenager, and
we're getting that too. Summer's got one more year.
Yeah, we've got like days left.
Yeah, we have. We're looking forward to, because this year she's 12, Parker's 10, so the two of them can be home alone legally. But now the oldest can look after the youngest, so we could literally leave the house with all three of them at home and not have to worry about it. Meanwhile, we got other people in our family that are having babies and like, oh, maybe you guys should have one more. I'm like, no, we like this because it's all done.
That's right. Yeah.
It's us now.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, teenager, because next, it's teenager, then high school, then done high school, then they're gone. Yeah.
And that'll fly by like that.
That's what they say. The days are long, but the years are short.
Whoever said that's like brilliant, by the way.
I can't remember who said it.
Well, you did right now. That's the first time I heard it, so you're
all right.
Sir.
I will take credit.
I will take yes. There we go.
I invented this.
All right, is that it?
Yeah, I wanted to see a gift I got from work from a coworker. It is these NES coasters.
That's so cool.
I said, in order to use them, you have to.
There's different games. Duck Hunt is obviously one.
So, Super Mario Brothers 2, Excite Bike,
right?
Metroid,
love that game.
Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong, Duck Hunt, Zelda, and Super Mario Brothers 3.
No Contra. Wow. That's an omission. That
throw them out.
Excite Bike though. That was my jam. Yeah. You ever watch the? I know we're wrapping up, but do you ever watch like YouTube videos of old NES games with the kids, and they're just watching it like, cool.
Wow, it's a stationary angle.
Remember, like I watched Excite Bike and Kung Fu with Oliver, which were two games that I loved growing up, and he was okay with it. And then just last week, got home with Arlo after dropping Oliver off at karate, and I was like, you know what? Let's watch a little Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
I was gonna say that would be the game.
And he watched it and he was like, that's cool. Like, yeah. And yeah. I'm amazed with myself that I still remembered like when to hit King Hippo and Soda Poplinski and whatnot.
Yeah, you should sit them down and tell them how awesome it was as kids playing Tetris. They're literally just flipping and making lines. That's all we're doing here.
That's it. That's all. That's all.
Lines. Yeah, and kids are like, really? This is what you guys do?
But we were outside till the sun went down.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Oozinator with everybody.
Just oozing with everyone.
Right. That's what we do.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on this week's episode of Open Collar, since we are your favorite geek culture podcast. If you enjoyed this discussion, make sure to hit that subscribe and like button on the podcast aggregator of your choice. Or if you're watching us on YouTube using @OpenCollarPod, you can do that there too, or both. Why not? As always, we appreciate your support, and a big shout out to our awesome collar community. Until next time, stay geeky and keep those collars open.
Still haven't found a new segment, so we're sticking with Baywatch.
Prompting a false rescue is a crime.
You can't bust me for that. I love you. Hey, come back. I'm drowning in your sea of love. Okay, I can take a hit.